What's going on, guys? The Comics Kid 2099 here. Welcome to day 243 of the 365-day graphic novel review challenge. I am now 2/3 of the way done with the graphic novel review challenge. It's amazing. There were times this year where I thought this challenge was never going to end. I thought I would just be doing videos every day for the rest of my life. So it's kind of cool that I'm now 2/3 of the way done with this challenge that I've set before myself. Today I want to talk about another volume of Mice Templar. I talked about volume 1 yesterday. Today I am talking about Destiny Part 1. This is a new miniseries. It's Destiny issues 1 through 5. This is co-created by Brian Glass and Michael Avon Oeming. I don't know how involved Oeming is in this book because the previous volume was drawn by Oeming. This one is drawn by Victor Santos with coloring by Veronica Gandini, I believe is her last name. And I don't know if Avon Oeming is involved with this book in any way, or if he's like helping co-plot the book with Brian Glass and maybe helping him to script it. I'm not really sure how involved he was in this book, but I know that he is no longer doing the art here. Having said that, if I didn't read the foreword by Gail Simone where she mentions that there's a new artistic team on this book, I wouldn't have even known that it wasn't Oeming's art. This creative team, they are doing a very good job of following the style of Oeming from the previous book. It looks almost identical to his style. All the character designs look on point from the way that they were presented in Volume 1. The art is very fluid here, very dynamic, very angular, just the way I like it, in that kind of style. So really liking the art here. I'm very curious to see what this artistic team is like when they are not following Oeming on a book. For example, Victor Santos, if he was doing his own thing that Michael Avon Oeming did not draw a volume immediately before, would he be trying to do Oeming's style as much as he is doing here? I'm very curious about that. But the style here is very good. If you like Oeming's style in Volume 1, you will like the style that Santos and Gandini are bringing to the table in this volume. This book is quite a bit better than Volume 1, as I predicted in my video yesterday. And there are two reasons for that. One is what I thought was going to happen and what I mentioned in my video yesterday. At the end of Volume 1, the premise for this series has already been established, and quite a bit of the world building has been gotten out of the way. So with Volume 2, we can just jump right into the story. I suspected that was going to happen. I hadn't read Volume 2 whenever I said that in yesterday's video, and sure enough, that is what happened. We have gotten a lot of the world building, a lot of the character introductions out of the way in Volume 1, so now we can just get right into the cool stuff. And there was a lot of cool stuff in Volume 1, but there was also a lot of stuff that you had to set up so that you could get to even more cool stuff here. But we have a whole lot of that stuff that had to be set up in Volume 1, and now that all of that is over, we can just jump right into the story with this volume. And also, Volume 1 had to split its time between the people of Crickett's Glen, who were kidnapped by the Rat Horde and brought to the capital city. We were splitting a lot of time between them and then Carrick and his quest with Pilot going to the tree with the priests. It felt like we were kind of about half and half, 50-50, with the people of Crickett's Glen and then Carrick. In this book, maybe it's all in my head, but I don't think that we spend as much time with the captive people of Crickett's Glen at the capital city. I don't think we are spending as much time with them as we were in Volume 1. And as such, we are able to spend more time with Carrick on his quest, and I feel like this book has a little bit more focus because of that. So I think that this book is an improvement over Volume 1. Nothing against Volume 1. I did like it quite a bit, but like I said in yesterday's video, it is a very ambitious book, and it's very dense. This is still very ambitious. There's still a whole lot of world-building stuff that this series is juggling. It's throwing in new elements while it's still exploring the elements that were introduced in Volume 1. So this is still a very ambitious, very dense series, but I think once you've read Volume 1 and you've kind of got everything laid out, okay, this is the direction that the series is going, this series, or this book here, takes the series in that direction, and I think that it is a very strong, very good book because of that. I think it is a little bit better than Volume 1, but again, that's not smack-talking Volume 1 at all. I like this quite a bit. I do intend on getting Volume 3, but I don't have it in my possession right now, so I won't be reviewing that tomorrow. Probably won't be reviewing it this year, although who knows. I've still got a third of the year left to do. So those are my thoughts on Mice Templar Destiny Part 1. I hope that you guys liked this video, and if you did, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will be back tomorrow to talk about a different book. In the meantime, you guys have a great rest of the day. Catch you later.